Hello, everybody. How are you on this fine Friday? Today is live webinar day, like I do every single Friday. And today's topic, if you've missed the marketing, is Beginner's Guide to Shamanism. So what we're going to do is going to wait a few minutes for people to drop in, and then we'll get started and we'll tell you everything that I've learned or that I know about this topic. And I might be interrupted by children because, as we all know, we're all stuck at home and I have kids with me. No. Well, you have to wait. Okay, so I told you I was going to be on here for half an hour. You're going to have to wait. Right. Just wait. This is what you do when you have children at home. Go inside, please. Hello, Kelly. I'm just arguing with my 6-year-old about getting dressed or not getting dressed. Please go inside. I might have to be cranky mum in a minute. Okay, who we got on here? Kelly. So we will get started and I will point my 6-year-old out the door and she's going to shut the door on the way out. Yay. Okay, now I can concentrate. See, it's real life here. So today's topic, as I said, is Beginner's Guide to Shamanism. So if you're watching over here, you're on my business page, Michelle Ann Soul Healer. And if you're in front of me over here, you'll be on my personal, also being shared into into my Soul Junkies Connect page. So you can watch from any of those. As usual, my battery's going flat because I've been on the phone all day. So where do we start? So shamanism. I had no idea what the word shamanism even meant, and I wanted to give you guys a really brief overview of what it is. I'm not going to give you the like really deep stuff about shamanism, but I want to give you a quick overview of what it is. So basically the word shaman, it translates to spiritual healer or one who sees in the dark. So shamanism's been around it's one of the oldest traditions you'll find around. It's been around for over 100,000 years. It's a long, long time. And I've never quite understood it because it's not a religion. That's the hard thing. People know of things like Buddhism or Christianism. You know what I'm trying to say, and all the different types of religion. But shamanism is actually not a religion. It's, to me, a way of life. So it stems. There's all different background, all different stories on where it stemmed from. But the most common shaman, or the most commonly known shaman, is one that's of Native American background. So hello everyone that's watching. Hello Megan, Vicky, Gita. Native American background. So usually North American or South American, and that's where the shaman of the world that we know is what I would explain what a shaman would look like, or their traditions and cultures are from. So usually North or South American shamans. There's some down in South America around the Inca Trail, around Peru and Machu Picchu, and then up north as well, the Native American Indians also have shamanic practices as well. So it's a really, really old, ancient culture. And it basically focuses around nature and animals. So shamanism is about bringing in the harmony between the earth, the sky, the sun, and the humans, and all like living together in a harmonious way. They work a lot with, as I said, the earth. They work a lot with plants, and they work a lot with animals. So you can see how they're taking nature as their teacher. And the other thing that shamans do, and this is why they're often called one who sees in the dark, is that they connect to other realms. So they have things, and I'll go into a little bit detail later on, but different realms. So we're in the physical realm now, but there's also, as you know, another whole other realm out there, a spiritual realm, or as the Aboriginals would call it, dream time. It depends on which culture you're from, but that realm that we can't see. And shamans are able to journey through the realms, so through those realms that we don't view with our physical eyes. But they're all about creating the natural flow of life, and they're about respecting fellow creatures and animals. So you can see the theme really strongly in here. So they're basically earth keepers. So, and as I said, it's not a religion. It's not something that has got a single leader or a person that everyone bows down to. It doesn't have text. It doesn't have churches as such. It's not a religion. It's a to me, a way of life or a culture, I suppose you would say. That's why I use the word shamanism, because it's the practice. It's a practice, basically. And they teach you about living with respect and truth. So it's basically teaching you to live your best life. They're all about living in integrity, living your best version of yourself, basically. And it's a lot like self-development. So when you do a shamanic course, and you can do courses, and I'll explain later as well that you can do courses on shamanism, but shamanism chooses you, basically. You don't choose shamanism. It usually comes to you, and you don't even understand what it is. That's what happened to me. I'm not claiming to be a shaman by any stretch of the imagination. Not even scratch the surface. I know nothing, basically. But what I'm trying to do here is just explain it to you guys, because I was drawn to it not knowing what it was. So that saying that shamanism chooses you was exactly correct with me. It just came to me. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it. I was just drawn to it. So if you find yourself being really drawn to this type of work, it's because it's choosing you. You're not choosing it, which I think is really, really important. And you feel really connected to it, and you don't know why. It's a really bizarre feeling, considering I don't even know what the word meant, but I felt really connected to it and really drawn to it. And later on, I felt what was happening as things that I was already doing in my practice was shamanic in style, but I didn't even know what shamanism was. So that's how it all works. Yeah, it's like a form of self-development. So a lot of it will center around sacred ceremony. So you'll often hear people saying they have to open sacred space. Vicky's saying for sure, because it's chosen her. Vicky is just done the shamanic course that I did. And yes, definitely it's something that you can't explain, but you just feel really drawn towards, and that something that you want to learn more about. You're thirsty for knowledge. Hey, Vicky, you're just thirsty. You want to know more. You want to, oh my God. And that's why I love doing these webinars, because I like to share my knowledge with you guys so you can learn stuff that I'm learning. So back to ceremony. So the shamans work a lot with animals and plants, as I said before, and in particular they like to work with what they call plant medicine. So ceremony is basically opening up sacred space. So sacred space is an old practice of, and these traditions have been passed down and passed down and passed down. And I just read that somewhere. What did they say? Like, you don't know what you're doing, basically. Like, someone asked a shaman, why do we do that? And he said, what did he say? I'm not the teacher. I just do what is, like, pretty much as there's no ego involved. You don't know anything, and if you're a true shaman, you're probably the most modest person around, because as you do more and more of the shamanic practice, you lose more and more of your ego. And it's not about how powerful you are or how good you are or what you know and don't know. It's just about serving and being of service to others. So your ego obviously never disappears, because we are human, but your ego is pushed to the side when you're doing this type of work. And if it's not being pushed to the side, it's certainly often you get put in situations where it's forced to be pushed to the side. It's really cool how it works. So sacred ceremonies are often done in a certain way. You can do any ceremony. There's no right or wrong with this type of work, which I love, as long as you're being within integrity and you're treating the earth and the humans and nature and animals the right way. You can open ceremony and do like pretty much whatever you like. But there are sacred rituals that shamanic, previous shamanic cultures have brought down through their like ancestors and things like that. I'm really stuck for words today. It's because it's quite complicated. It's hard to explain. So, and a lot of ceremonies repeat the same tradition. That's what I'm trying to say. Repeat the same way. And once they get repeated over and over and over, and they've been passed down from generation to generation, they hold a lot of power. So a lot of the things that we do, we're not sure exactly where they come from, but we do know that they're really old traditional ceremonies or traditional things that we do within ceremony. And some of the tools we use within the ceremony, and you would have seen me talking, or if you've been to one of my healings, some of these tools would have come out. So they do use things such as smoke. So that's a very shamanic style tool. So sage, some sage, but shamanic people will more often use tobacco smoke, because it's being said to hold the power of your prayers. And it's similar to sage, it cleanses your energy. Another big one for shamanism is Palo Santo, which is a little, here, like a little stick of wood that comes from a tree in South America. Smells amazing, and again, it gives off a smoke when burnt. Feathers and wings, because they do work with spirit animals a lot. So I've got a whole cupboard here of feathers. Look at this. These are all my feathers that I've collected along the time. And I do actually, and bird wings is another thing they use with, because they use the spirit, the energy of animal spirits. So these are all my feathers. These are ones I've just collected. People always giving me feathers. And that's another sign I feel like I'm into this type of stuff, when people just keep handing me feathers. And I just started collecting them. Sometimes particular pieces of jewelry might be of interest to shamans. I've got my own jewelry, which I wear, which jewelry can really anchor something. It can anchor some energy. It anchors power to a person. So if you've anchored a certain feeling or state to your jewelry, then when you put that jewelry on, energetically it gives you the same power. That's why we've made our rings. So these are our rings that I designed. My remember ring, so remembering your power, and I also have a necklace here of the same design. So yeah, really, really lovely. And we get them made and we sell them, because my sister and I understand the power of anchoring a state to a piece of jewelry. And the shamans obviously did a similar thing. Obviously not with my design. Well, who knows? And they often make ceremonies around offerings to the earth. So the whole idea of, if you are giving, you are able to receive in return. So they offer fruit or plants or things back to the earth in a ceremony called Despacho. Darren Jones, one of our friends, he does these type of shamanic ceremony. I've never done one. I've participated in one. So it's basically getting all gifts to give back to the earth or the spirits, like corn and seasoning and cinnamon and all sorts of things. And you wrap it up in this paper, and then you either burn it or offer it to the earth via water or bury it. So that's really cool. Ceremonies also can focus around a plant medicine such as cacao. So there's different types of plant medicines you can use, and they vary greatly in the potency, I suppose, of the plant medicine. But shamans are the ones that work with the plant medicine the most. And when they say the word plant medicine, they're talking about taking a plant and using its medicine. It's really hard to explain, but it basically, everything's energy, and the shamans believe that plants have medicinal purposes, which we know to a degree. We're all, not everybody, but most of the people watching this have been using essential oils. It's basically plant medicine. It's oils from a plant, which is curing us of physical and emotional trauma. The shamans believe there's other plants out there that do similar things, but they work more on a spiritual sort of side of things. So the most famous one that everyone, I don't say everyone because I'd only heard of this probably a year ago, was ayahuasca. It's a plant that's grown in South America where you can go over and they make these big brews of this ayahuasca, and you drink it, and takes you off. It's hallucinogenic basically, but it's allowing people to face their demons pretty much and access the higher realms up there that they can't access when they're in the physical state that we're in. So they use this thing called ayahuasca, which is, it's a plant medicine, but it's really potent. I'm actually too terrified to do it, because I know people that have done it, and they said it's the biggest trip out ever. And if you've got a lot of demons in your closet, then it brings it all out. Not that I've got demons in my closet, but we've all got stuff that we need to face that we've probably been burying, and the ayahuasca, what it does is brings that out. And if you're not ready for it, it's super potent, and it can do all sorts of things. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I won't be doing that in the near future anyway. But what I do love is the cacao, which is a type of plant medicine, but it's much less potent. So cacao comes straight from the cacao plant, and you drink it. It's a shamanic practice, which is done in ceremony, which I'll explain in a second. And it opens up the heart chakra. And I'm running a ceremony tonight. Well, actually, I'm not running the ceremony because the ceremony is very, very particular. Shamanic cacao ceremonies are done in a particular way, and usually you need to be trained to run a cacao ceremony in a shamanic way. But what I do use is cacao just to open people's hearts and drop them more into their heart space, and then we sit in circle and allow people just to be a little bit more vulnerable than they would be in normal life. So I'm doing one of those tonight. as we all know, we're all locked down at the moment, so it will be online, so anyone can join. So if you're watching this and you'd love to watch, have a look a little bit about shamanism, and I'll talk a little bit about cacao as well and how it works, you're more than welcome to join. I usually charge when people come here, obviously, for my time, and I offer a supper and the cacao, but because it's online, I've decided not to charge. It's free. You just have to register for the webinar, and then I'll give you a link. So have a look on all my pages, you'll see the event there, or if you can't get it, just message me. Of course, the neighbours want to get the drills out. And we'll be doing it online. If you don't have cacao and you still want to participate, that's fine. You can use any hot drink, but you'll get the gist of what's going on. If you're local to Forest Lake or you're around, you're more than welcome to pop in, and I can leave some cacao at the front. It's $25 a bag. No contact needed, social distancing and all that stuff. So yeah, that's tonight. The other plant medicine they often use is cactus or mushrooms. You've probably heard of mushrooms. So they're hallucinogenic, and in Australia they're actually illegal because of the hallucinogenic properties. So cactus, mushrooms, and a few other bits and pieces that, yeah, they alter your brain state basically to take you to a different state of your brain. Do we have any questions so far? Because I've been putting on for a fair bit of time. Hello everyone here, Pam, Eliza. Hey Megan, my neighbour Karen, she was at the last one. Lots of familiar names. So yes, if you've got questions, just type them in. I'll do my best to answer them. Oh, we've lost it. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, so I'm no expert, but I like to read about these things. Yeah, so shamans basically teach us to reach our full potential as we walk the earth. And they're really good teachers. So a good shaman will be a teacher, a leader, someone that is leading the way and teaching people these traditions. So the things that they teach, so I did a little bit of research before this, so there's certain things that shamans like to teach or talk about. Basically that, it's funny because when I wrote these down, I'm like, oh, this is what I talk about all the time, that everything is spirit. We're all energy, we're all spirit, and everything's blended together. That all, oh, there you go, I haven't even read my notes, all things are interconnected and alive. So plants are alive, animals are alive, humans are alive, and we're all interconnected. We're all one, basically. And yeah, we are one. That's what I believe. And also the shamans teach about the elements of the earth. So they're really honing on things like the earth, the sky, the sun, the wind, fire, water, you know, all those type of elements. Because they're earth keepers, they feel the elements have a lot of power and the animals have a lot of power. So when we open sacred space in ceremony, what we do is we call in, they call it calling in the directions, which is a set tradition of opening sacred space. So I'll do that tonight, but what we basically do is we have a thing in front of us, usually called a mesa. It's it can be anything, like a piece of material, a placemat, and then you put something out that reflects each type of the element. So we do, did I write them? I've written down, I thought I wrote them down yesterday, maybe I didn't. See if I can remember them, I should know them by now. So we open it up with the direction of the south, which links into the snake energy and the emotional body of ourselves, the water, and the colour red, talking about creativity and transmutation and shedding the skin. Then we open the direction of the west, which is the jaguar, which is the earth element, the darkness, the black, and it's all about jumping into the unknown and jumping into your fears, and it's nearly like a death, and also about walking impeccably through the earth and with integrity. And then we go to the element of and I always get these mixed up, the north, which is the hummingbird, and the hummingbird teaches us to be like living really lightly and joyful and taking the sweet nectars of the flowers and things like that. And the last one is the eagle or the condor, which is the direction of the east, and that is about the rising of the sun, seeing things from another view, looking down on the earth, being closer to the heaven, freedom, like all that. That's a whole nother talk I could do on the different directions. But yeah, in ceremony they will open the directions and call in the spirit of each direction. So they'll call in the power of the jaguar and the hummingbird and an eagle, and they'll bring them all together into sacred space, also calling in the spirit of Father Sky, Mother Earth, the spirit, and then they'll talk about the, um, the beings that we can't see, like our spirits, basically, our archangels, our guides, our ancestors, our ascended masters, celestial beings, and all that sort of thing. So we call everybody into sacred space, everybody, as in all beings, to help us create the space for people to do their healing. And it is healing. And shamans, even though they're not technically healers, they actually usually become healers because just out of the way they practice, they become healers. So, yeah, Vicky's saying it's so freaking amazing. It is, isn't it? It's just amazing. So how does one become a shaman? As I said, I'm not a shaman. I do dabble in shamanic practice, but if you're an actual true shaman, often you were born into it. So you were born from a generation of shamans and ancestors, like basically it's come through your ancestors, and your spirit chooses to be a shaman and come into your physical body. Faith's watching, hello. And the next one is via initiation. So you can go through an actual initiation to become a shaman. That would usually be over in South America or North America. I don't know exactly how that works, but there's obviously to become a shaman, you have to prove yourself. You don't just walk in, hey, I'm a shaman, bring it on. It's not like that. It's a very sacred thing, and a very, it's not to be taken lightly, basically. So, and the last one is a calling. So sometimes people have near-death experiences, or they have had an injury or something that's, or a disease where they've nearly died, and they've had the calling from spirit. So one of the well-known shamans, he's an American fellow, like he's a white American, who went and lived in the native and the South American jungle with the shamans after he was diagnosed with a life-threatening, I read his book, I can't remember, this is terrible. I think it was a brain disease, pretty much died or was dying, and I can't believe I don't remember that. See, in one ear and out the other. His name is Alberto Villoldo, and he was a psychiatrist, a practicing psychiatrist in America, in mainstream, and he was really interested in the shamanic way of life. And when he got sick, he went over to the American jungle and lived with the shamans, and they pretty much cured him of his disease. And he took his wife over there and then decided he would live a full shamanic existence and then teach the shamanic way of life to the Westerners, to us guys, the white people. So hence that's how I ended up being involved in it, because one of the people that he taught someone, and I think I'm only 3 down from this tribe in Peru, maybe 4, I think. It's really cool. When I heard that, I was like, wow. So there's this amazing tribe, and Alberto's wife took all the practices and the rites that we're initiated into have come direct from this tribe in Peru, and they were passed down through Alberto's wife, and she took it out to the white Westerners, and I think 3 down, and then I got taught. So you get it's not taught. You don't get taught. You get initiated. So Vicky's just done her initiations. Basically, you're passing on a rite. So you would have seen photos of me with my head on somebody. So I was given the rites, and now I'm able to initiate other people into those rites. So it's really pretty cool. And we use a stone to initiate. That's a whole other story as well. But, so you can get initiated. So that's sort of pretty much what happened to me. And the third way, as I said, the calling, which is what Alberto happened, a near-death experience where they're called by spirit. He had cancer stage 4. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. My brain was failing me there. Something to do with his brain, I remember that. Sue hides, oh no, that's a Facebook message. Sorry. Getting sidetracked. I've got stuff popping up everywhere. Like, that's the problem when you have too many screens open. Oh dear. Replying to Facebook messages whilst on live. Not a good one. So quickly, just before we finish, so there's shamans do what they call journeying to different worlds. So a journey is basically taking your consciousness to another level, and there's different levels of consciousness. Now you will be able to relate this to some other things you probably know, but the shamans call it the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. So that's what their belief is. And you journey through the world, so you put yourself into an altered state of consciousness, and then you're able to journey within the worlds to bring back messages and healing to the person that you're assisting with. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So shamanic journey to these realms can often be done. You get put into like a trance-like state. So if you're interested in what trance-like state means, I did a webinar last Friday, which they're now all on my YouTube. I'm so professional. So you can go to my YouTube as I'm doing these Friday webinars. They're getting popped up onto the YouTube channel, Michelle Ann Soul Healer. Also, they're all on my business page on Facebook as well. So you can click down and watch any more. So they only ever go for half an hour because I know people are time poor. I'm usually to the minute. I'm getting pretty good. So last week's was about trance. So in this journey, you go into a trance-like state, which is often brought about by music or drums or rattles or any sort of instrument that gets you into like a meditative state. It changes your brain waves. So into a theta brainwave, which allows you consciousness to change. And then, as I said, sometimes they use plant medicines to get you into this type of state to do this, what they call journeying. So the worlds that they journey through are lower world, which is basically all about, it sounds really, really scary, like deep and dark and where all the demons live, but it's not like that at all. The lower world is about creativity and healing the mind. So think of it like a tree. So the roots underneath are the lower world, so underneath the ground, and they're all interconnecting. And then the tree trunk's the middle world, and then the upper world's obviously the branches. So that's the lower world. So the lower world's like our subconscious mind, that deep part of our consciousness is the lower world. Then the middle world is the physical world, which is the physical plane that we live in right now. And it's all about basically our ordinary consciousness. And it's about the nature, the plants, the earth, all that. That's the physical middle world. And the last one is our upper world, which is my probably favorite, because it's when you're journeying up there in the realms of anything abstract, imaginative, up the heavens, all the spiritual, the woo-woo stuff is in the upper world. So geometric shapes, kaleidoscopes, weird and wonderful stuff that your brain cannot understand. A lot of it will come in dreams, I find, or I think I often travel off to the upper world in my dreams, and it's cool stuff. It's trippy. It's cool. And that's where you get taken when you're doing some of these more potent plant medicines, is this upper world. Has anyone on here done anything like this plant medicine? I'd love to hear how you've been. Faith's wanting to learn. Yeah. Also up in the upper world, or that realm, is the angels, the spirits, the celestial, I've never said that word, celestial and planetary beings, the star nations, and our higher selves. So that part of ourself that is their higher self. It's our higher consciousness. It's not our standard normal conscious way of being in the physical world. So yeah, so that's really cool. So they can journey through these worlds. And what shamans believe also is that illness is not caused by physical things going on, that the physical things, you need to get to the root of the problem, because it's caused by usually emotions or mental stuff going on. So it's funny because in my soul school that I'm running, starts on the 6th of April, we go through the 4 bodies. So, and the shamans believe in 4 bodies as well. So the bodies that we talk about in soul school are physical, the emotional, the mental. So they're very important because that's what causes illness in the physical, because they're all interconnected, and the spiritual or the energetic body. So we've got 4 bodies. We don't just have our physical one. It's really interesting stuff. And shamans believe that if your physical, if your emotional or your mental body has got blockages in it, or your energetic field, which is that 4th body, has blockages in it, then you will physically, it will manifest in your physical body. It's really good stuff. So if you can start clearing your emotions and clearing your mental, your things that's going on in your brain, or start really clearing your energetic body by meditating and focusing on things like chakras. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but bringing yourself in the present moment, then you can start to heal yourself in the physical realm. How am I going for time? 1 minute and I'm nearly finished. Yeah, and so they believe there's 3 main things that causes illness. And the first one is disharmony or loss. So grief, disharmony, so loss of power, something like that. Second one is a huge one, especially where we are right now, is fear. So fear and anxiety, if you have that over a prolonged, or stress, have that over a prolonged amount of time you're going to get physically sick because it's manifesting in your physical body. And the last one, which the shamans are very well known for, is soul loss. And I've done a webinar on that as well. So if you're interested in all these webinars, make sure you go back and watch them. Faith says, I'm learning this so much at the moment. Your soul school is helping a lot. Oh, thank you, Faith. So Faith's just done the March Soul School. So if Soul School is something you're interested in, it runs over 4 weeks and you get daily content, short videos. Hey, Faith, they're not long-winded. I don't want to overwhelm people. I want to give people snippets of information. So 7 to 10 minutes video a day, and then action is the big thing. There's no point learning all this stuff and not actually taking action. So we do soul work or homework every day, and being part of the community is another thing that's really helping the people that are doing soul school. So yeah, if you're interested, just please contact me, and we're starting one on the 6th of April. But if you're watching this in the future, we are in 2020. I'm going to say that now because I'm going to be famous and people are going to watch these later on my YouTube channel. There will be soul school running, and you can just contact me and I'll let you know when the next one is. So yeah, we are doing, as you all know, at the moment we're in the middle of COVID-19. We are doing special at the moment, that if we have anyone that's essential workers or pretty much on the front line, so teachers, even the supermarket workers, people that are just right there in the front of face of it, I'm offering them a $150 discount to Soul School, which is massive. And we also offer Bring a Friend special. So if anyone's interested, please just contact me. But it's a really good way to learn all this stuff over 4 weeks and not have it be really overwhelming, and just do little snippets at a time. So yeah, webinar on soul loss, if you're interested in that, basically saying if you've lost a part of your soul, and it's usually because of something really traumatic, and bits of your soul goes missing off into the, ether, or whatever you want to call it, ether, and soul, basically shamans can go off and grab, go getting bits of your soul and bring it all back together into your, making you whole again. So yeah, really interesting stuff. So much to learn. I've only just sort of touched on the surface, but I just something I want to share with you. And yeah, that's why I like cacao, and that's why I do ceremony basically. And I hope did that help anyone that's still on here watching? Have that helped you understand a little bit more about what shamanism or what shamanic practice is? Give you some idea. Who's over here saying anything? Faith saying, I've used mugwort tea to help me connect with my subconscious, and I connected to my guides in my dreams. Yeah, dreams is the place where a lot of people will go off into that upper world and connect, all the lower, and connect with guides, spirit animals. Shamans always have a strong belief in power animals or spirit guides that are animals that will present themselves in your life and be able to assist you on your physical journey. It's really good stuff. So if we have no further questions, I am going to head off for the rest of my day, get ready for my cacao ceremony tonight. Hopefully, if you might see a few of your face on here, it would be lovely. Vicky learnt some things too. Oh, that's scary. Vicky, I thought you knew everything I knew. That's exciting. I'm learning every day, every single day. I love it. And yeah, I can't get enough of it, pretty much. Everyone's learning together, which is what I love. All right, I'm going to go, and I will see some of you tonight. And do I teach shaman? I don't teach shaman, but as I was initiated into this tribe, I am, after a certain amount of time, it's 6 months of practicing, I'm allowed to now go and initiate other people. So what I'm visioning, and it's coming up quickly, I can see Jodie's on here, she'll be on my case, saying you've been saying you're going to do this for a long time. I am able to initiate others into what I got initiated into. So Vicky, we talked with Vicky Hesse, she's just had her initiation, so when she's ready, I'm hoping she can assist me in bringing in all you guys that are watching this that are feeling drawn to shamanism to do a course. I don't like using the word course because it's not really a course, is it, Vicky? It's like, I don't know, it's another word for it, it's not a course. But that's the only word I've got, to initiate others. And then those people can go. It's basically passing on the traditions of the shamans. So yeah, you don't come out of it being a shaman, you don't come out of it being a healer, but what you do come out with is it's a lot of self-development, it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of spiritual stuff that you learn, and there's subconscious stuff going on that you can't even explain and that you don't even know how it works, but you just know it works. You just got to trust. So a few people saying that's amazing. Karen saying, can you print out the recipe for the cacao, I'm guessing? Yeah, when you get the cacao, I should send it to you. Karen, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you on your Facebook message. If you've got cacao and you don't know how to make it, just message me and I will definitely pass the cacao recipe on. Okay. Janelle, sorry you jumped on right at the end. Have to go back and watch it. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye. See you guys.